Tamil Shiva.
Let's correct the concept first. In this series, earlier we discussed the subjects of the Noble One Uadama Iradam, Shiva and Kali-Parusha, Siddha, color, fallen angels, then Kali-Parusha Dark Lord, and now we come to our next topic, when Lucifer, now a Dark Lord, has no authority over the Shiva, alias Seth, descendants, then how will Lucifer misguide them? The story of the earth revolves around the Shiva, alias Seth the Shiva and the Pundayan. Shiva is God's representative on earth, having authority over all things. Remember, Shiva was given information on all subjects. With that information, one can maintain the balance on earth, and at the same time, with that information, one can bring destruction to earth. This is why Shiva, in Indian tradition, is known as a preserver and a destroyer. The attribute of Shiva, destroyer and preserver, refers to the information on all subjects given by God to him. Pandya means old, one who follows the old system or tradition. Among the Shiva descendants, certain portions of his bloodline would go astray. That is, they will misuse the information that was given to the first Siddha. The Quran, chapter 15, verse 42, clearly says that Lucifer will have no authority over the Shiva descendant. On their own will, they can deviate from a straight path. Which tactic will Lucifer Kali-Parusha use against them so that they can be misguided? Quran chapter 4, verses 118 and 119, give the answer to how Lucifer would misguide the descendants of Shiva. I read, whom Allah has cursed, for he Lucifer had said, I will surely take from among your appointed servants a specific portion. Note, in this incident, Lucifer said that he would take a certain portion from the appointed servant, and make them do what Lucifer had said, this even before Adam and Eve set foot on earth. Verse 119 gives the answer. And I Lucifer the Dark Lord will mislead them, and I will arouse in them desires, and I will command them so they will slit the ears of cattle, and I will command them so they will alter the creation of Allah. And whoever from Shiva descendants takes Satan as an ally instead of Allah has certainly sustained a clear loss. And I will command them, so they will change the creation of Allah, which means Lucifer will put in their desires and they will indulge in genetic engineering. As Shiva descendants have knowledge and information to do so, Lucifer is putting desires in them to misuse the information and create a new species by mixing two different species. Yalai in the Kumari temple indicates that ancient Kumari people were indulging in genetic engineering. The book of Jasher, chapter 4, verse 18, reminds us of the son of a man who indulged in genetic engineering. This was the main reason for the deluge at the time of Noah. The son of man refers to the descendants of Shiva, alias Seth. Jesus is the son of a woman. Among the Shiva descendants, a portion of them indulge in genetic engineering. And this was the main reason for the war among the Shiva descendants. The Mahabharata war was an internal war among the Shiva descendants. In South India, one can see a constant war among the Pandayans and Chera-Chola. Pandya means one who follows the old system of administration. Chera means one who wants a new system of administration. Chera, Chola, and Pundayan, their kings, are all from the bloodline of Shiva, alias Seth. They fought against each other based on ideology. Pundayan sticks to the old tradition of Asivagam, while the new generation king of Kumari strayed from the straight path and wanted to bring in a new system, Hammurabi, in order to implement his new idea of the cosmopolitan city, sack smaller kingdoms, for example, the Mari kingdom. Quran chapter 1, verses 6 and 7, says, I quote, guide us to the straight path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed favor. This verse is telling us to pray to God so that he guides us to the path given to Siddha Shiva, alias Seth, the favored one. The Quran further says, not of those who have evoked God's anger. Note, Cain bloodlines are facing the karma of their forefathers. When they come to power on the land of Shiva, Caucasian settlers will introduce their path, where they will introduce the priestly class, who will become a mediator and giver of moksha. The Quran reminds us not to follow the path of Caucasian settlers who introduced the priestly class. The Quran further says, I read, or of those who are astray. Astrayed are Shiva descendants who are misusing the information given to the first Siddha. People should be aware that the cosmopolitan city is fed with GMOs and hybrid animals. Most of the cosmopolitan cities of Sumer and Babylon's population were fed with GMOs and hybrid animals. And to run the economy of the cities, events and festivals are introduced, promoting indecency in carnivals. So with the information that God gave to the first Siddha, some Shiva descendants are indulging in genetic engineering. This way, Lucifer the Dark Lord misguided some of the descendants of the Appointed One. What genetic memories or code will be in the Cain bloodline today, that information about genetic engineering is also with the bloodline of Cain, and they are using that information to create viruses and biological weapons to kill other nations. Coming up next, the Age of Kali.